Do, 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 do. There we are. We are live. So I will just wait for a moment or two. Who's going to come on first now that I've gone live? It is, oh gosh, it's 6 o'clock over in the east. It's 4 o'clock here in the west where I am. So maybe you're all having dinner or so. Here they come. All right, so I am live. So when you come on, let me know where you're from. Say hi, put something in the chat so that I know I'm not talking to an empty screen. Is David Field on? Is Lucy? The lovely Lucy, who we haven't seen for a while. It's her birthday today. So Lucy, if you're on, happy birthday. But ladies and gentlemen, are we playing in what? David King from Sydney. Greetings, David. Lovely to see you. Gosh, haven't seen you for a while. I'm currently in Perth, and I'm doing this on a Thursday, which is not when I normally do it, because tomorrow I fly to Exmouth, and on Saturday I am going to go swimming with the whale sharks. Excited? Just a little bit. Lots to share with you today. In coming across from the east, and hang on a second, I'm just going to grab something for you guys. So I'm in my hotel room. That's what you're seeing at the moment. But here we go. When I got on the plane, I decided to read a book. This book here, excuse me, The Happiest Man on Earth by Eddie Jaku. So it's all about life could be beautiful. If you make it beautiful, it's up to you. It's an extraordinary book. I advise you all, go buy it. Don't read it online. Make sure you buy the actual book. No, I'm not getting paid to do that, but it was such an inspiring story. This man was in Auschwitz. He managed to get through Auschwitz. He's 100. And in fact, a friend of mine, Leonie, her father and this man are in the same nursing home together. And she said he is an extraordinary human being. Laurie from Exmouth in the UK. Welcome. Love how I lived in the UK for 13 years. Amazing. But let me tell you, I got on the plane from Sydney, and here's where it doesn't make sense, guys. It does not make sense. So in the airport, it was all about social distancing, wear your mask, social distance, don't get close to people, don't touch anyone, don't smile at anyone, put your mask on, or as I like to call it, your muzzle on, make sure you don't get too close to people. And then you get on a plane and you are jam-packed. There was not one spare seat on this plane. Not only am I close to someone, we're literally rubbing shoulders. So how does that make sense? Doesn't make sense to me. And of course, you can't wear your mask when you're drinking water. So I sipped on water for 5 hours coming across from Sydney to Perth. Again, it's not making any sense to me. Making sense to you guys? Drop a column in the thing below, because I think it's crazy. It's kind of as crazy as I was interviewing someone. I'll talk about this company in a minute because it's pretty interesting. He actually said to me, he's based in oops, sorry about this. I'll turn my phone off and I'll get back to her. Sorry, guys. Forgot to put that on silent. So what he said was, the funniest thing about Australia is everywhere else in the world, you have sniffer dogs that look for drugs. But in Australia, you have sniffer dogs looking for bananas and honey. And I just laughed my head off. But it's not so funny when you actually get off the plane in Western Australia. And I bought this book up because this is a man that was in Auschwitz. This was a man that saw the beginnings of the German occupation and what happened to various people and how you had to have papers. Well, in order for me to come into Western Australia, what did I have to have? I had to have papers. And as I got off the plane, it was really interesting. I don't like to use hand sanitizer. I wash my hands. I don't like hand sanitizer unless it's Holy Sanity. Holy Sanity is a beautiful hand sanitizer, absolutely gorgeous, but most of them are full of chemicals and alcohol, and the only alcohol I like is when I drink it. But this hand sanitizer, this woman had it right at the entrance. She went to give it to me. I said, I've washed my hands and I've sterilized them. And she said, unless you have this, as she put it into my hand, you can't come in. And I stood there with it in my hand when the next lady went to shoot me in the head because they want to check your temperature. And I said, can you do it on my arm? And she said, well, first of all, put the hand sanitizer on. And I was like, otherwise we're not going to let you in. And I went, fine. And as I did that, she did the old thing into my pineal gland, which I'm not very happy about. So, you know what? I wasn't very happy about that. And then it was, can you please make sure you show your papers? Really? It's called the Good to Go pass. And if you don't have the Good to Go pass, and if you don't put all of your details in, and it's quite extensive, you are not allowed into Western Australia. So here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Better have your papers ready, because that's how it's all going to start. It is all about control. Aircon on most planes does not have the UV sterilizer circuits for the air fitted. What does that mean, David? I'm not quite sure I understand that. Does that mean that we're all breathing crappy air and that we should get off planes? I don't know. I'm fine. I'm going to go swim with whale sharks. I'm going to live my life, but I just feel that the control is getting a little bit out of hand. So let's talk more fun things other than all the control, which I don't like. But before I do that, I'm going to read you something from, I don't know if you guys know David Casey. Sorry, not David Casey, Doug Casey. Doug Casey is one of the smartest guys I know. He understands gold. He understands money. And he's basically written a piece, and I'm going to read a little bit to you today because I think it's that important. And what he's talking about here is that Canada and Australia have instituted some of the strictest and most aggressive COVID measures in the world. And some people will turn around and say, oh, but that's for our own protection. It's for, we're going to stay safe and all that sorts of the stay-at-home orders. We've seen police raids in Victoria. We've seen non-compliant businesses forced to shut. Poor old Victoria. Why is it that COVID only ever seems to impact Victoria and nowhere else in the country? Some people say because Victoria's not very good at what they do. I don't know. It just seems it's always Victoria. Maybe Dan Andrews upset the Chinese a little too much with his Belt and Road deal that didn't go through. I don't know, but it all seems a bit strange. But here's what Doug Casey says. He says, frankly, he didn't think things would get this out of control this quickly, because nobody could be sure what to make of COVID in 2020, early in 2020. But it certainly got a lot more publicity than any previous flu, because the original refrain was, we just want to flatten the curve so that everybody doesn't get it all at once. And that kind of made sense for 2 weeks. But the hysteria has risen to a level where carts should go through the streets with the drivers calling, bring out your dead, bring out your dead. And he says he's not a conspiracy guy. He says it's hard enough getting a few friends to agree on what movie to go and see and where to go to dinner. How much harder to get thousands of people to collaborate on practically destroying the world economy. But the pandemic seemed orchestrated from the very beginning, with practically every country in the world locking down, even though it was established early on, but rarely reported, that the sickness attacked the old, the sick, and the obese. Another good reason to stop eating chocolate. It was very suspicious. The Hong Kong flu, the Asian flu, the swine flu, the bird flu, and various other viral infections came and went the way viruses do. They spread, they took casualties, and they disappeared. Inconvenient and unpleasant, but a part of life. Why and how did this illness in particular turn into such a hysteria, even though it only affected a small and easily isolated portion of the population, even though it's not even remotely comparable to the Spanish flu of 1918, 1919. Doug says it's rare to even meet somebody who knows an otherwise healthy person that has been seriously harmed by the COVID. He's met a number of people that have had COVID that made them sick for a day or two, or maybe 3, and now they're okay. And that's the way it normally works with viral infections. And the media loudly reports infections, but infections are meaningless if they're asymptomatic or trivial. He goes on to say, it's also strange that this infection is supposed to be easily transmissible. They said everybody would catch it unless they wore masks and isolated themselves. They'd die. But frankly, very few people, other than the elderly confined to nursing homes, seems to have gotten it. And the ones that do get it typically have a mild case, like my friend Anne. Frontline, and that's my friend Anne, not Doug's friend Anne. Frontline medical personnel certainly haven't been decimated. It appears, he says, to be grossly overblown hysteria generated by opportunists in the media and government. Doug's guess is that in the years to come, COVID will be viewed as one of history's great scandals, a big nothing foisted upon society for no good reason, or perhaps perpetrated for nefarious reasons. And Canadians and Australians should be among the most embarrassed. Now, whether you agree with what Doug says or not, I think that it is some sensible points to be made. Paola, hello from Espanol, I think. Is that Spain, Paola? I think it's Spain. Anyway, greetings. Getting you guys from all over the world. I love it. It's just really interesting. And then I met with my friend David Evans yesterday, and big shout out, guys. If you want to read some interesting stories and, not read the crap, don't read the mainstream media. It's all crap. They're all saying the same thing. They're all reporting the same thing. They're all creating fear and hysteria amongst you when it shouldn't be there. They're all telling you it's all about control, lockdown, and stay safe. But here's the thing, start reading stuff from outside the mainstream media. So I'm going to be doing a big shout out to my friend David Evans. David Evans is one of the smartest guys I know. And if you don't know already who David Evans is, he runs something called Gold Nerds. So check out Gold Nerds. But the one I want you to check out today is called the Wentworth Report. So the Wentworth Report is something that he talks about. And basically it's sticking up for reality over political correctness. So political correctness is the scourge of the postmodern Western world. We all know that. We're all being politically correct at the moment. Why are we being politically correct? It's getting out of hand. We're all getting to be controlled, and we shouldn't have to put up with it. And here's the thing. If you look at what happened in Victoria and all the small businesses that were locked down, what happened to our politicians and our public servants? Now, I'm not saying that we need to get rid of government in its entirety, but there's a lot of people that are employed by the government. The government is paid by the taxpayer, and they keep getting paid, even though everything's gone into lockdown. Because if you're a government employee and you're working from home, you still get paid. But if you're an entrepreneur, if you're a small business owner, if you're producing something, public servants don't produce. They control, they don't produce. We need to start to produce things. And because we've got all these public servants, did their wages stop when Victoria went into lockdown, when the small businesses went into lockdown, when all these small businesses lost their income because they couldn't get any clients through the doors because they had to be locked down? And this is not just in Australia, this is globally. Small businesses are doing it tough. They're going to do it tougher. But here's the thing. Public servants keep getting paid. Dan Andrews, who's the highest paid premier in Australia on over $400,000 a year, has actually been off work for 91 days, allegedly because he slipped on a wet floor. Did he slip or was he pushed? I don't know. I wasn't there. I can't comment. But he certainly hasn't, he's had a pretty good time, because not only did he keep his pay, but he got extra pay because he couldn't go to work. Now, how does that make people feel, Premier Andrews, when you're getting paid nearly $500,000 a year, but you keep locking down small businesses or locking up people so that they can't produce, they can't earn an income? And I can tell you now, and I've said it before, I'll say it again, we are going to be in deep trouble with mental health and suicides in the coming years. Because the one thing is, if you don't have money to put food on the table, you will do whatever it takes to put food on the table. So that's it about that. You know my feelings on it. Am I going to have the vaccine? I'm not going to say it on a live YouTube. You can probably figure that out for yourself. Hi from Malaysia. Hello, Nicholas. Are they pushing AI? What do you mean, are they pushing AI, Nicholas? Come back to me and let me know what you mean by that. Gosh, you've got people from all over the world. I love this. Please tell everybody else. Normally I do this, by the way, Nicholas. I normally do this on a Friday. but tomorrow I'm going to be in the middle of the desert and I'm not going to have access to the internet. So I thought I'd come on and do it today. So let's go quickly on to the gold price, the silver price, and the Bitcoin price. So let's start with gold. The gold price is still sitting in its little parable of 1870 to it's just not quite hitting 1900. What do I think is going to happen with the gold price? Well, here's what I think is going to happen. I think we are in inflationary times. Inflation is here. If you have a look at prices of not just commodities, but food, fuel, if you have a look at the energy prices, everything is going to start going up. Wages are remaining complacent. They're not going up. Prices are going up. Look at the property prices here in Australia. They are out of control. But the gold price is not doing very much at the moment because it's just taking a moment to catch up. Why? Because everyone feels that they're wealthy. Now, I can't comment for the rest of the world. Maybe some of you that are listening from other parts of the world can tell me. But right here in Australia, we have something called the wealth effect. A lot of people are property owners. Property market is going up. So everyone's like, woohoo, I'm making money in the property market because I either own a house or I own investment property, and the property market is on fire. It is in silly territory. Unfortunately, I sold my place before the market started going crazy, but it is what it is. I think we need to be very, very careful at the moment. So the gold price right now is 18.79 US, and the silver price is 27.50. All of them today, the gold price is off almost 1%. But over the past month, it's up nearly 4%. And the silver price is down nearly 1% as well today. But over the past month, it's up about 2.5%. So I don't look at it on a day-to-day basis, but I do truly believe come August, September, if you want to go and purchase physical gold or silver at the moment, and by the way, I'm not a financial advisor, but I do think it's a very, very good time if you want to protect your purchasing power. Right now, the gold price is at a very, very, it's like going to into a department store. The shoes, the gold, and the silver are on sale right now. So let me talk about a couple of companies, and then I'm going to scoot off. Nicholas, they're pushing AI. They're printing all the paper for people not to work. Yep, monetary relief. Well, it's called modern monetary theory as well, MMT. Yep. Are they pushing AI? Not really, Nicholas. What they're pushing at the moment is government will always look after you. Governments are printing money. So what you're going to find is you'll find that asset prices will go out of control. They can't keep the inflation genie out of the bottle for too much longer, because if you continue printing money and you continue pushing it into the system, and, if I went back 5 years and I started to talk to you about trillions of dollars, you would have looked at me going, trillions? No. Now we're acting like, $6 trillion in stimulus is normal. It's not normal. It's getting out of control. So I think the purchasing power of your dollar, your yuan, your yen, wherever you're from, is actually going to be decreasing. So you're going to need more of the funny money to purchase just the basics to keep food on the table. That's a view that I have. All right, just my view. I'm going to very quickly go on and tell you about two companies. Now, if you go to smallcaps.com.au, that's where I do a lot of interviews with general companies. I could talk about all of them. I'll talk to you about three that I really like. Two of them are potash. One of them is energy, because going forward in this economy, energy is going to be, there's going to be a shortage of energy. So energy prices will go up. So if you start to look at some of the companies out there in the energy space, that would be really smart. I do believe uranium is going to be really good. I spoke to Murray Hill. It used to be called Marenica Energy. They've changed their name to Elevate Uranium, AL8. Really good company. They've got some absolutely cracking uranium projects in Namibia and Australia. They've had a really good run. The first time I interviewed him was about 6 months ago. The share price is up 250% since then. I believe a lot of the uranium sector, the prices will start to increase. Bit of a contrarian view there, but that's what I believe. So I like uranium. Obviously, I like gold. In the gold stocks, obviously, sorry, I've said obviously far too many times, but really exciting. Our agenda for the Gold Conference, which is in Sydney in late October, the agenda is almost full. I'm so close to being able to publish this. I'm excited. So that will go up on the website at the end of this month, and I'll tell you why in a sec. But if you can't get to Sydney, I'm looking at ways that we can live stream the conference for you, because there's some cracking information that you want to know and you want to hear from. De Grey Mining will be there, Kairos, these are guys in the Pilbara. I've got Kalamazoo, they're doing stuff in Victoria and the Pilbara. I've got some fantastic keynote speakers, and my thanks to the Perth Mint. Perth Mint are my major sponsor. I've got ABC Bullion sponsoring, Evolution Mining. What a cracking speaker we've got there in Jake Klein. So amazing stuff. And although I haven't put up the live streaming price yet, it's not going to be a lot for you guys to join for 2 days of incredible information. On the 19th of August, I'm doing my final virtual gold conference for the year. That will be, as I say, on the 19th of August. That's free to attend. The one in October is probably, if you're going to do it, if you're just going to go the online version, it's going to be between $40 and $50 just to get access to the online version. So I'm making it nice and easily accessible for you guys to get lots of information. Right, 2 final things I want to say to you guys. I've done an interview with South Hearts Potash. They used to be called Davenport Resources. They've changed their name to South Hearts Potash, because they have got a massive potash deposit over in Western Germany. Massive opportunity over there. And it's all about where the potash is, because it's a bulk commodity. So if they'll be servicing the European economy, it's listed on the ASX. The code is SHP, well worth a look. I also think Vintage Energy, they're doing gas and a CO2 field in Victoria and South Australia. I think they're being run by, the chairman is Reg Nelson from Beach Energy. Lots of the guys from Beach Energy are behind Vintage Energy, ASX code VEN. Amazing opportunity there as well. Again, do your own research, because I am not a financial advisor. And the final one that I'm going to talk to you about today, because again, I think that these guys are incredibly undervalued, and that is Trig Mining. So they're doing, Trig Mining have got the Lake Throstle and the Lake Raisin projects. Really interesting premium mineral fertilizer. Again, it's potash, but this is sulfate of potash, so it's very high. And it's an Australian company, so it is basically mining for farmers. Go check Trig out. I think they're great. I'll be interviewing Karen towards the end of this month. And I did an interview with Dr. Chris Gilchrist from South Hearts Potash. That'll be on the Small Caps website very soon as well. So lots of information there for you guys. They are all ASX listed companies. If you want to keep yourself, I guess, the easiest way, if you want to purchase gold in an easy way, go get an ETF, or you can go and get PM Gold, which is the Perth Mint ETF. Lots of different ways to do stuff. I've spoken for long enough now. Here's the thing, guys. I'm going to go swim with the whale sharks on Saturday, so I'm going to be out of contact. But next Friday, I will do my best next Friday. I should be back in contact, but I am having a week off. I'm not going to be working. I'm going to go up to Exmouth. I'm going to swim with whale sharks, and then I'm heading down to the Margaret River to drink wine and to sit back, read books, and take stock of where we are in the world. Here's the things you've got to look out for. Here's the things that I think are going to be interesting to invest in going forward. Obviously, you know, I'm a gold nerd. Gold, silver, platinum, all those precious metals I think are a good area. I think energy, and specifically uranium, is going to be very good. And we've got to feed the world. So fertilizer in the form of sulfate of potash, muriate of potash, really good opportunities for you. So go check that out. Thank you, guys. Thanks for tuning in today. Really appreciate it. I'm off to go and see the Perth Mint to talk about what we're going to be doing in October and how much gold we're going to give away for those of you that actually can make it to Sydney. Because guess what? we are going to give away gold. We're going to give away the like little gold nuggets, like the ones around my neck. There you go. There's that gold nuggets from Kalgoorlie here in Western Australia. So we're going to give away some gold when you come to my conference. So God bless you all. Thank you so much for listening. Have an awesome day. I'll see you all next week. David King, thank you very much. Thanks, guys. Really appreciate it. And also, could you please hit the like button and share what I'm doing with my YouTube channel, because I really, really, really want to build up that YouTube channel so I give more value to you guys on a weekly basis. Thanks for tuning in. All the best. Ciao for now.